Hello and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Blue Yeti X. Many of you should be very familiar with the original Blue Yeti. It's a very popular microphone. It's used for YouTubers, it's used with streamers, it's used for people doing voiceovers or podcasts. It's just an easy to grab microphone, plug in and play and use, hence why you see them everywhere. With the Blue Yeti X, what they've actually done is they've upgraded some of the hardware, added some extra features and bells and whistles, charged a little bit more money for it, but also integrated it a little bit better for gamers. And the reason I say that is because Logitech now owns Blue. Logitech purchased Blue, and they're starting to integrate the Blue Yeti X to work with their gaming suite software. So it's kind of neat. I'm very interested in it. In this video, we're gonna do a sound test or a microphone test, compare it to a gaming headset, show you some of those new features as well as how it works with the Blue software. You guys can take a look at everything that I go over and decide if it's worth purchasing. Hope I'm able to help out. Okay, let's talk about what comes in the box. So as soon as you get the box open, you're gonna see a little start guide. What this does is this goes over exactly how to adjust your gain. Hold the button in for another second, then you can adjust your headphone level. Hold the button in for another second, which then allows you to change your blend setting. The blend setting is allowing you to choose how much of your game compared to chat audio you want to hear. If you want to hear a little bit more of your friends in Discord, or you want to hear a little bit more of your voice monitoring, you can do so. It also has a live meter, so you can check if you're clipping. If you're talking too loud, the microphone will go and show you with the LEDs there that it's going into the yellow or red. You don't want to be clipping. Your audio will be very distorted, as well as a mute switch by tapping in the button. It has 4 different polar patterns. Most of you are going to be using number 3, the cardioid. It's going to be picking up what is in front of the microphone, which should be your voice and your mouth. The other polar patterns can be used, maybe if you're doing some sort of podcast with you and another person, you want to record everything in the room, or you can see here they have another one which records mainly your voice as well as what's behind the microphone. Again, Blue knows most of you are going to be using number 3 here, and that should be your default, especially if you're just by yourself. They also include in the diagram showing you what exactly is at the bottom of the microphone, which I'll get into. And then here, this is a front addressed microphone. Do not talk into the top of it, talk into the front on the side of it, and that is what's going to get you the best sound. Now, when it comes to the microphone itself, I like the way it looks. I like the matte black coloring here. It does a decent job with fingerprints if you are touching the microphone. Usually you have this thing set and you're good to go. The metal microphone grill feels very durable. It feels very, very tough. The front here is the button. The button does have a little bit of wobble, so it's not super sturdy, but it's not enough for me to worry about. It still feels pretty good. It does have a nice little tactile click. Bottom of the microphone, that's where you're gonna find your headphone jack to listen to your computer audio as well as do voice monitoring. It does here have a mount, so you can throw it onto a stand. It did not include an adapter, kind of bummed about that. I think that for the price, they should have included an adapter. And then here's your micro USB port to plug into your computer. I wish it was USB-C. You know, having a microphone like this, you're coming out with a brand new one in 2019. It should have had a USB-C in my opinion. The stand does have these knobs, which allow you to tighten and adjust the microphone tension. That way, once you get it set in the spot that you want, you can tighten these up. And the stand feels pretty sturdy, and it is heavyweight. Bottom of it has a cushion here, which helps a little bit with shock. And then the back of the microphone, you're going to find the pattern button. If you wanted to change your polar pattern quickly or on the fly, you could do that right there. Like I said, most of you are just gonna set it and forget it. The microphone in general is mainly made of plastic with metal in a few areas that's important, and the build quality feels good. The USB cable is plenty long, and as I said before, you got micro USB on one end and USB type A on the other. You should have no issues with this. It's pretty much plug and play. Plug it into your computer, set it up, and you're good to go. Okay, so you buy a microphone like this to have really good sound quality, whether you're streaming, recording audio, or gaming, talking with your friends. So let's get this thing hooked up to the computer. I'll do a microphone test. I'll compare this to one of my favorite headsets that I use, the Sennheiser Game 1 headset. That way you can get an idea of how much better this is than using a headset. Again, there are pros and cons to this, and I'll go over them. Okay, so this is the Logitech gaming software that you're going to use with your keyboard and mouse and any other Logitech gaming peripherals. Well, the cool thing about this microphone, which I was talking about earlier, is now the Blue Yeti X shows up. And what this allows you to do is this allows you to use the microphone with the gaming software. So as you can see here, there's 3 different settings. One is the microphone, one is the lighting, and third is the output. Now I'm going to try to rush through these a little bit because some of you might get bored. If you ever want to know more about this, you can always check out their website, or I can always make a separate video. So the first setting is obviously the microphone. And as you can see here, I have it set at 10 gain. That's it. This is only at 10 gain. And if I jump it up, it's going to probably get loud. This is at 50 gain. I didn't find that I ever needed it this loud. So this is 50% gain. This microphone is very sensitive. 15 could probably be a sweet spot for you. So let's go ahead and enable Blue Voice. This allows you to change the way your voice sounds. So as you can see here, this is the broadcaster setting. You can raise your gain or you can lower it. They have broadcaster 2, they have FM station, they have AM station. They have a lot of different sound signatures, but what I found is, as I can now see, my microphone is clipping. It's actually showing yellow/red because all of these presets have the gain extremely high. So what I found myself doing is no matter which one I picked, I wanted to lower it down to like 15, and that was definitely a better level. I think that Blue and Logitech is thinking that people are going to have this thing really far on their desk and they are going to end up needing the gain to be higher. But like I said, you want to get this thing closer to your mouth and away from your keyboard and lower your gain. That way it only picks up your voice. Either way, they have a lot of different presets here. You can go in and customize your own, and you can browse for presets that people have uploaded themselves. So pretty neat. Second thing is the lighting. So on the front of the microphone, there is the button, which allows you to do a quick mute by tapping it. And you can change the different colors that it shows. So if you wanted a different color for when you're live, you can have that. If you wanted a different color for when you're mute, you can do that too. You can even change the modes. So as you're going through, a lot of these settings you can change in the software as well as on the microphone. So if you hold in the button, you can change the microphone setting. Hold it in again, you can change the headphone setting, and then you can change the direct monitoring setting. And it changes the colors that are here around it for each setting. So you can completely customize that. Metering. This tells you whether you're peaking, high, or normal. You want to try to stay mainly in the green, but as you can see here on the graphic, they'll tell you if you're getting closer to peaking. Your microphone will get distorted if it ever gets into the red. You want to always stay under that yellow spot. Somewhere in here is probably the sweet spot. But you can customize the colors as you want. You can even change it for the patterns. Again, I'm in omnidirectional. The output. The output is big for gamers. What this allows you to do is change the headphone level to the mic monitoring level. But let's say you're listening to music and you want it to be in bass boost. It's going to give you more of that bass. Maybe you're playing a first-person shooter, so you want to hear more of those highs for footsteps and reloading and things like that. This setting works great. Maybe you play a MOBA. Again, these are just some of the presets that Logitech puts in here. I've tested them. They work well. But if you don't like how it sounds, guess what? You can go in here and change all these individual things. I don't like to mess with it. If I'm playing a shooter, I put it in FPS. If I want to hear a flat sound and not anything changing, just normal across the board, I do that. If you're maybe watching a movie, cinematic, maybe you're listening to music, bass boost, and so forth, you guys get the gist of that. Again, the software is a strong point. I think Logitech hit it on the head with this. I think that integrating it for gamers is great. And again, that's why my review is more based around gamers. If you're a musician or a podcaster or you do a lot of voiceovers, I think that this microphone will be good for you too, but I'm not a musician. I can barely play the guitar, and I wouldn't be a good person to ask. You'd want to find a different video online. But for gamers, I think that the software alone is great. Let's go ahead and give you a microphone test with my keyboard. So I have a Logitech keyboard with the Roamer G keys. I'll go ahead and talk while typing. So this is what it would sound like if you had the keyboard on your desk. The keyboard is in front of the microphone, so it's between me and the mic. and I'm sure it is picking up some of that sound from the keyboard itself. This is me moving my mouse around, and this is me tapping on the desk. So as you can see here, it's best to get this thing off of the desk, get it in front of you with a boom arm. That way it's not picking up nearly as much of the keyboard or the mouse that I have here. Okay, and just for comparison, here is what the Game 1 headset sounds like by Sennheiser. Obviously something like this is a little bit better at noise canceling because it's so close to your mouth. But this just gives you a good idea of what your voice would sound like if you were using the Game 1 headset. Again, I consider this microphone to be one of the better gaming microphones attached to a headset. There's a lot worse than this out there, but this will at least give you an idea to compare the two. And let me go ahead and switch to the Yeti X. Okay, so here I am recording on the Blue Yeti X. It probably sounds a little bit better than that gaming headset, but then again, if you're not able to get it close to your mouth and get some of this background noise out of the way, it might not end up being a better experience for you, but there you go, there's your comparison. Okay, as far as my final thoughts on the headset, I really do enjoy the Blue Yeti X, and I believe that it is a great USB microphone, and a lot of people are going to love it. The things that I really like about it, for one, is the sound quality. I think it's good, and how versatile it is. I mean, you can use all the different polar patterns no matter what you're doing, whether you're a musician, you want to do voiceovers, you're gaming or streaming, or just chatting with your friends in Discord. I think you're going to really like it. And if you are a gamer and you already use the Logitech gaming suite or their software, the integration is just perfect, as well as having those dials on the front. I mean, everything is just quick and easy to see right in front of you. I do not like a few things about it though. The first thing I don't like is I don't like how they did not come with, how Logitech did not include an adapter to put this onto a boom arm. I have a few boom arms in my spare closet area, and again, I couldn't put it on there because I did not have the adapter. And for two, I think for the price, it also should have had USB-C. I would love, as a wish list, if Logitech and Blue could come up with a way to have a shock mount built into this. I think that for the price, around $170, they could have put a shock mount built into this stand to make it so it's a little bit better with getting rid of the vibrations and noise that you get through the desk. As you see, I even have a large mouse pad on my desk, and I was still hearing the vibrations through the microphone. Overall though, I know I'm nitpicking a little bit. I'm very happy with the product. I think it's really good. Those of you who want to up your mic quality, maybe you want a better stream, better YouTube videos, no matter what it is, I think this is going to do it for you. Other than that, thanks for watching. Below, I'll put in the description links to all the products here, as well as the adapter, the boom arm. And if you guys want to know anything else that I ever have, links to it, just ask and I'll put links in the description. Thanks, have a good one.